Anyway, and good evening, and welcome to the truth behind
the truth.
the finale. Yes, indeed, guys. Welcome tonight. It is our season finale. Exciting show tonight, man. It's gonna be a good show. Good show. We want to thank you guys, number one, for tuning in with my voice a little harsh. I'm sorry. Tuning in with us for all season. It has been a great season of so many wonderful guests, so many times, so many great conversations, all of the above, and a few losses. Okay. But hey, we're getting ready for a great number of levels. So when we are on hiatus, we're gonna be coming back to you guys with some great stuff for season 4. But tonight we are going to share just a couple of highlights of some shows. We're gonna make you laugh a little bit. Some of the stuff that was, went on this season. So some amazing stuff that went on this season. So, but it's going to be a great show. Great show. We're so excited. Want to remind you definitely to share, like. Even though you may not see us live next week, you still have that opportunity to share, and like. Okay, yes. And along with your support. Okay. Remember, you can find us on your Cash App. Okay, we are TTBT Show, and on Venmo we are The Truth Behind the Truth. So we're looking forward to it, guys. Thank you so much for your opportunity to be here tonight, and it's going to be a fun show with the fellas. Yes, indeed. And tonight we have sitting in as co-host one of our dear administrators. These are the people behind the scenes you never get to see. All right, but you're seeing them tonight. All right. Yeah. He is all right. Good. Brother Darnell Thomas is with us tonight.
Yes.
Chime in his viewpoints on what's been happening this week, and it's gonna be a lot to talk about. Yeah, this brother know a lot too. Okay, so don't be ashamed. He gonna give you his spin on it. Okay, all right. So Darnell, welcome to the show tonight. Welcome for your first time second time in front of the camera. Last week was his first time. Telling that beautiful story that he shared with us. So thank you for coming back tonight and making it to be a part of this our season finale show.
Yes, sir. Yes.
How's your day been?
It's been absolutely wonderful.
Good.
I've been.
Technical difficulties.
All right.
Going over just my thoughts for this evening, and kind of.
We'll catch him. Parnell, go ahead. How you doing? Hold on, we'll catch him. Let me get your signal right. P, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. A busy weekend. I'm associate producing a show that we're going to show a little bit of later on. So we have rehearsal today, and trying to run and get hurricane ready for this hurricane coming our way.
Right, okay. Hunker down, baby.
Yeah. Now, are you listen? Let's be kind of funny right now. Or do you believe that this hurricane is really coming, or do you think there's just nothing but just a little much to do? Because I've been at work, everybody talking about is there really a hurricane coming to Los Angeles? So I'm just saying, so many people just don't believe it, but still,
I'm being prepared either way, just to make sure I have water and food and all that good stuff in case I can't get out. I'm good.
You're good, okay. Hey, as I always said, but they didn't expect winter to be the way that it was this year. So, and the way they've been tracking this, I don't think the intensity is going to, lessen, in the process. Let's hope that it does. You don't want it to get, quite super severe. But the way it looks like, LA going to get a lot of rain. Okay. A lot of rain and in the time frame that it is. So let's all get ready. Those of you watching here in LA, make sure you are getting ready. And the main thing they said, stay off them highways. Do not be driving. Matter of fact, stay your ass home. Okay.
That part.
Stay tomorrow. Stay your ass at home. Okay. Don't be trying to be out there being superheroes. I got to go. Stay your butt home. Okay. Because we don't want any tragedies on the news. All right. That's another way. How you doing, sir?
So what I was saying is that, just today has been wonderful. Just trying to get prepared for tonight show and also just to see what tomorrow is going to bring. See how the weather's going to be. See if I'm going to be bothered with the outdoor activity of it all, or am I just going to get up under the bed?
Okay.
Yes.
I know you.
Sound like me.
Well, either way, you're gonna be a part of the bed. So it's like
Yeah.
Whether you choose to stay in or get out, you gonna still.
Yeah.
You will still be a part of it. What is good? We are glad to see you tonight. That is for sure. Well, all right. As I said, guys, we are in with News Buzz with the fellas tonight. So it's going to be another news breaking opportunity. Tonight we're going to talk about Parnell's got a wonderful opportunity to share with us tonight about the cast of the play that he's producing. So we're going to hear a little bit of that from them tonight as well. So, and we're going to review some of our moments throughout this season, okay? And I kind of talk about a little bit of those, and some of them are very interesting, like the Doris moment, but you'll see what we're talking about when that comes around, later on tonight. All right, well, let's dig in with the number one talk of the week. Indictment number 4. The new version of The Apprentice, indictment number 4, okay? Who will be sitting at the round table with the first avant-garde of Orange? The one thing for sure in that orange, they're going to be a camera mistaking something, because you'll see orange here and orange here, so you'll never know what you're looking at. At the same time, I tell you, they said Cheetos. They said Cheetos went on sale.
I can't. Was it the flame ones? Because that comes a little close to what's going to happen. When he does go into that. I know.
So if you ain't got stock in Cheetos right now, baby, you better go call your stockbroker. Okay. It's time for America to get paid. I can't. Okay. Wow. It's time to get some reparations from Cheetos. Okay.
Flaming hot Cheetos.
But anyway, I'd love to make light of the situation, because it is a very serious situation in terms of someone that is in that caliber of a person that has brought this damnable behavior on America. At the end of the day, and it really is. But it just goes to show that anybody is subject to do the thing that they shouldn't be doing. Even if you maintain the highest office, in America, and if you're not groomed properly, and and things that you think the world revolves around you, you're subject to do anything at any given time, So anyway, what's your take? And I know we have the clip from the official announcement. Let's run that clip. But you want to run it from there? You can speak it. You take it from there, Parnell.
Investigators who have worked diligently on the investigation of criminal attempts to interfere in the administration of Georgia's 2020 presidential election. Today, based on information developed by that investigation, a Fulton County grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state. The indictment includes 41 felony counts and is 97 pages long. Please remember that everyone charged in this bill of indictment is presumed innocent. Specifically, the indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump.
All right. Yes, indeed. That's a good way to end it on Donald John Trump. Okay. Wow. Yes, indeed. Parnell, go ahead. Give us your. I know you got a lot of insight on this one.
Well, it's like I said, when we've covered the last 3 indictments, it's that whole thing of like, if they don't convict this man and all those who were involved in trying to overthrow our election, it's just going to make the next attempt worse.
Absolutely.
Because people will feel that they can get away with it. So all 19 people need to serve time, be convicted and serve time, because it's like, as the record shows, they were in on it. Trying to overthrow our election and trying to go against the will of the American people, what the people have voted for. And this is the first step, I think, towards even to really getting rid of gerrymandering districts, because we've seen so many times that states that really are probably more purple than red, but the Republicans end up winning these elections because of the way they have gerrymandered the rap to dilute Black power, so to speak, and Democratic voting districts. So they split them up, so they don't have the same capacity to elect Democratic nominees, if that as it should be represented by how their demographics break down.
Exactly. You know, it has the one thing that I know you got a lot you're gonna say about it. The thing that the thing that gets me is just that I don't know, the blindness of people, you know, throughout this whole process, the consistent denial. I'm still at this wave of trying to understand, where do you deny something repeatedly when it's just put in your face?
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's I know we can say that's about pushing an agenda. You know, people have selected memory, you know, all the above and between. But you know, I mean, can somebody explain to me how stupidity just reigns like this? You know, I mean, really, I mean, go ahead. You know,
oh well, you know, it reigns because people are going to want to. They just say this. People are in today's society. We live in a society of just, you know, skepticism and all that other craziness that goes along with it. I think really, I want to say the media is didn't do a good job at covering it because they were so busy during that time covering what was going on Trump's side of the story instead of what was the real deal. And, you know, honestly, you know, as I said, you know, what really boggles my spirit is the fact that this is some very serious claims. You know, this man literally called the actual person who was running the system, the voting system, and heckled him into trying to find votes to help him win the election, which he knew there were no votes to be found. And the fact that he threw two women underneath the vote, and had their names plastered up for everybody to harass, two black women, that was another situation. I just, you know what, to be honest with you, this man is running a campaign based on retribution. And the one thing that we need to understand, that this is a serious situation when somebody is telling you that I don't believe in our democratic principles. I don't believe in the way our system is ran. Now, he claims that, you know, he was running on America First. Now, I don't know what this is right now that he's running on. But the saddest thing is that if you cannot see the forest for the trees in this situation, we're in deep trouble.
Right.
We are in deep trouble. But Kemp, that governor, my Lord, I haven't heard anything from him since, was it yesterday? He was like, we're going to hold everything until after the elections. I think that's bogus. It's odious. I think it's crazy that now all of a sudden you have something to say now that this black woman has got up here and read all of the list of names in the charge. Now you're going to, Brian Kemp, Governor Kemp is now trying to, you know, embolden the Trump base and say, well, we're not going to do nothing at this point. We're going to withhold it. I think it's crazy. But yeah, really, it's you know, if you don't see this for what it is, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, the one thing, even him making that understand, one thing he cannot is infringe upon the law and what's being put into place. That's the one thing. He can say all he want to do, I mean, at the end of the day, but he can't, you know, impeachment law, because he will be arrested this week. Okay. He will be fingerprinted this week. Okay. And he will possibly sit in a jail this week. Okay. Because the sheriff did say that there's no rushing this. Okay. He's going to, he said he's going to let him experience every minute that every person that has done something wrong goes through in the Fulton County jail. Okay. So he probably gonna have to sit there, maybe in a private jail cell or whatever. He may let him sit out in general population so they keep an eye on him. Okay. But he said he's going to go through the whole process, you know, and I don't think they're probably going to put him ahead of anybody else's way to get processed in.
They stated that they're going to do him. They said that it's going to be 1 through 28 and he's going to be 29.
I can't. You know what? I cannot. You know, be as it may. Go ahead and give your point. I know you were having a little technical difficulty. Go ahead and give your point about the subject here.
And you know, being from Georgia, my thing is this: I really feel like that when it's time for trial, they're going to do their due diligence, because when it come down to this whole RICO charge, Georgia is about the only state that can make a RICO charge stick. They think about it. You had Young Thug. They took this whole RICO charge and they used it against him with the lyrics of a song to prosecute him.
Right.
So think about the type of evidence that they have upon him. And ain't no way possible he gonna swindle his way out of this.
Right.
I don't care how much Crisco he got on him.
I can't. I can't. Not Crisco. Not Crisco. My Lord. So sliding on in and sliding on out, basically.
Ain't no way possible. If that happens, that lets you know we are really, really in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, seriously. And then think about it is that if they allow this process to be delayed or whatever the case may be, or what they're trying to do to manipulate it. See, everybody that's locked up in Georgia and typically across the country that have had different charges against them, they need to start these appeals immediately if he gets away with this stuff. Okay, right. Because there's so many people that need to be walking out of jail at that point. So he may be the ticket to getting people out if they don't, do whatever. Because there's no way in the world, like they've been saying along, that nobody's above the law. So this is number one. This is an opportunity to show that as a clear example. That it is. It's not our fault that he became president. Okay, I mean, that's not our fault. At the end of the day, I mean, those that didn't vote for him, we didn't want him president in the first place. And I remember that buddy of ours was visiting us. We were talking about how we were sitting on election night, and we just knew that Hillary was going to win. Oh, you know what I mean? We sat there on bated breath, and then when they announced that he won, it was like, what? We were shocked. I mean, I remember going to work that next day, and people looked at me, and I was working in food services at that time. People looked at me, and when they came in, they were like, I ain't got nothing to say. I mean, they were so disappointed. And this was in Georgia. Yeah. Okay. This was in Georgia at that particular time. So, and then for him to later say, and then we're gonna get off of him, later say that he did not expect to win. Wow. That should have been your key right there to turn and go the opposite direction. Because the fool did not expect to win. He thought it was a joke. He thought he was doing another series of The Apprentice. He wanted to go, but see, now everybody in America is gonna say, those that didn't vote for him, gonna say, you're fired. Okay. Well,
truth behind the truth. Big up to Black women in this situation and all of the indictments that they have been involved. Big up to Black women. Because I really feel like this, and you can take this the wrong way, anybody who take offense to this, Black women are going to be the ones who are going to save this democracy. If all people fail, if all things fail, they will be the ones standing up for what is right. Because I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the fight. I'm not seeing the fight from anybody else but Black women in these situations. And Stacey Abrams, who was the one who organized that purple, of Georgia turning purple, that second time of him running for re-election. Yes. Big up to Stacey Abrams. Yes. I hope she comes out and say something about this. Yes. Because honestly, I'm sorry, it's going to take people standing up to this fool for us to try to stay on the straight and narrow when it boils down to our democratic principles. Yeah. And we're going to have to vote. Black folks or anybody. We're going to have to get out and vote this go around because they're ready. Right. Are we ready? And I'm just saying, hey, we got to get out there and do what we need to do as Americans. Right. This is true. Regardless of color, race, creed, sexuality, I don't care. Right. Get your tail out and vote.
These young ones, especially, because those are the ones who are going to be the later on. Right. They got to get out there and vote. They got to get up.
Man, true. I mean, very, very, very good point. I mean, I wish that there are some in the what is it, Gen Z now? Or is it the ones that are coming to the Gen Z or Gen? Not Gen X.
Names for me.
I know,
right? Too many labels. Okay. And that's too many labels being floating around.
Which one is it, Parnell?
I don't know, but we're overdue for a break, so we can talk about that when we come back.
I didn't even see his clue. I'm sorry. All right, we'll be right back after this break, guys, with more News Buzz with the fellas.
Call 844-55-STARZ. It's Junk Stars, baby.
Hey, my name is Thurston, and here I have my CEO, son Langston. We specialize in junk removal, dumpster rental, and demolition. So if you need junk removed,
call Junk Stars.
You need dumpster rentals,
call Junk Stars.
Yes, indeed. Totally agree with that. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the Truth Behind the Truth, the finale show. My goodness, it has been already a fire talking about that indictment situation that's going on. I want to remind you guys, please to like and share as we go forward. Make sure that you do support us. Make sure you do support us, okay? Our Cash App is TTBTT Show, and our Venmo is the Truth Behind the Truth. All right, let's go ahead and further dig in now. We're at the point of news buzz with the fellas. Yeah. I know we're going to bring up about the Michael Oher situation, and what has happened about the conservatorship. Do you want to take that?
Oh, go ahead. You got me. You opened up the conversation. But I mean, what do y'all feel about that subject? Because it is a very touchy subject. Mm-hmm. And I hope anybody who, because conservatorship is a very serious situation. True. It's when we think about Britney Spears, right. When we think, and most people think about Britney at this point when they think about conservatorship. But how do y'all feel about the subject matter about this guy now finding out that he had no financial control, right, of anything at this point? I mean, up until this point. So,
Darnell.
Parnell.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to let you go first. I can let my dog back in. This is what I feel is like. It seems like it's be more convoluted than originally thought, because this whole thing of of him finding out that he wasn't adopted, but then there's this stuff coming out that in his book he talks about the conservatorship. So it's like, okay, so did you not know that you were being put under a conservatorship, or did you not understand the difference between a conservatorship and adoption, or what that was? Some people are saying that he did get some money, and other folks saying, well, he didn't get any money. So it's going to be a very interesting situation to see what really transpires, of what really comes up, who can provide the receipts on what actually happened, what was and was not told. But it does seem like whatever they may have done when he was a teenager, when he became a grown-ass man, they shouldn't have had any say over what was going on in his life. It's like, I'm grown. I'm a fully functioning adult, married with my own damn kids. Y'all should not have control over my business dealings.
Right. Do you think that I think that became an overreach? A way overreach, especially at 18, and he probably should have been broken down to him as to what they did, in the process of that, and I think maybe if he, I don't know, was he still living with them when he was 18, or did he go off to college at that point? No, I think he went off to college, right?
He was living with them
when he was 18.
Yeah. Okay. So I know he went to their alma mater.
Alma mater, right?
That was a whole thing of there was feeling like there was like, well, them not being boosters per se. Right. It's like, well, if they kind of adopt you, then it's family. So it doesn't seem like they're a third party trying to cash in on you coming to this school. So that's going to be very interesting to find out the real deal of what was really going on at that time.
Right. Sounds too much like control to me.
Yeah, a lot of overreach. Yeah. So my question would be, I think at what point maybe during the course of this is that he didn't realize what was going on. Where was that? Where was maybe the lack of knowledge that he should have had, or to question what was going on with his life at that point? Was there an opportunity to do that? I mean, who was around him besides them? When all of this was going on, to tell the story like it was,
Well, when that movie came out,
right?
When Blindside came out, and y'all don't be mad at Sandra Bullock. She had nothing to do with this.
Wonderful.
She played a character, and that was it. So y'all please leave that lady alone.
Right.
But I feel like when the story of his life was being told, and it was told from the point of view of the family and how much money they got from it, I think it did probably at that time it set in of this is my story too, and how much I'm going to get from my story. They claimed that they were giving him money from that project. They would not only gave him money, but his adopted brother and sister their money too as well. And they claimed that they never needed any money, which we all know. They were very well-to-do, middle-class white family, but they didn't really need the money.
Right.
But yes. when I think his story was told in that movie from their point of view, I think that might have set in some form of fashion. Like, wait a minute, this is y'all really, and now this is all of a sudden y'all are now taking royalties from this story that I'm a part of. It didn't make sense,
right?
But they said they will settle the matter. So, hey, let's see how far.
You'll just see how the car go.
Right,
right.
right.
Who's got the receipts?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, receipts don't lie.
Exactly,
right. Because
exactly.
if they can come up and say, "Here's where you got paid. Here's where you got paid. Here's where you got paid, and this is what you got paid, and this is what you were paid for," and that's going to clear all this good stuff,
all of it.
And I really hope that he is honest and sincere about what happened.
Yes,
you know, because this thing is we've already had one Black person just in the last month telling a story where we got all on the support, only to find out that's not what happens. Like, now we get behind this brother and then find out, man, you got paid just like everybody else. Now you had us getting all upset at these white folks, and it wasn't what you said it was. So I'm just like, I really hope that we can find out what's going on and just be like, okay, yeah, they did kind of screw you over.
Yeah. Hashtag free Michael, and on on the same vein as that, free Britney. Y'all, let's just give her a round of applause for her divorce. She has twirled herself out of another marriage
entanglement,
but
of a money grab.
But no. So you have to think about this. But this is the thing. And I think with the factor of situations that they're in, it puts them in a place where they're green to life, the normalcy of what the normal person's life is. Like, she jumped up and she went and got married again. Of course, she had a prenup in place. But this prenup stated that if you're with every year, you get $1 million. So now he's after his millions that he's been with her. He's been with her almost 2 years. So she said she ain't gonna pay him. And he said, I want my money.
Wow.
You know what? And I'm gonna add this, Darnell. Wow. And that's just me. I love Britney, but just, you know what? We have seen this multiple times with artists, entertainers, who, especially women who have some form of money. People are going to take advantage because of the mental situation that's going on with Britney. And I hope and pray that she has her papers and her lawyers in line for all of this, because she's going to need them. Because there's going to be a lot of people other than him going to start grabbing for her money. And I pray that she goes get the mental help, because I would hate for her to be in a statistic. And it's so sad. It's a sad story. I don't wish no harm on this girl, or no jokes. No jokes aside, she just needs help. But let's go on to the next story. Lizzo. Now, Lizzo, let's talk about this situation, her not being on the Super Bowl. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think she should be on the Super Bowl stage this year?
Well, let's first start back to the factor of the statement of what was made to get her off of the Super Bowl. And then the person go back to recant and say, "Oh, that didn't happen. She's a great person. She's this, that, and other, and the third." So how does this happen?
And from what I just was reading something that was saying that the dancers who have filed this lawsuit, that they, according to Lizzo, publicly admitted that they were fired because of their behavior being inappropriate and unprofessional. So this is kind of just like, again, I can't wait to see who can provide the receipts for what happened. Just like, well, here's what happened. Because right now it's still kind of she said.
Right. It's funny how this cycle always typically happens. I think at the rise of someone's success. Whether you like Lizzo or not. There've been so many memes out after the word came out, and I think I passed one around among the team that was kind of hilarious. It was kind of funny, but I can't. But it was. It was funny. You gotta admit. When the team saw it. At the end of the day. But my thing on it is just like, as a business person, you have to realize that somebody's always going to try to come after you. And typically the Judas is always in the camp. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, and that Judas will be manipulating situations all the way throughout to find out a way to get more money out of you, or not happy with the contract that they got, or whatever the case may be. You know, to Lizzo's defense, you know, I mean, again, I think Beyonce did come and say that, you know, she would back her up on any aspect of that, the untruths that was spoken out about it. So, you know,
she's supporting her.
She's supporting her. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, and then, so I don't know, you know, I mean, that's it. Like you said, partner, this is one of the things we got to check the receipt when the receipt book comes out, you know, to see what happens.
Well,
yeah, them people too.
Them people too.
Them people too.
Yeah, a hot tail mess.
Them people too. Okay.
Yeah.
But and to that, I know we won't get on that. We talked about it last week, but to that, there's more arrests coming for the Montgomery Brawl too. So you know that'll be that. Believe me, that ain't going away, y'all. Okay, we just ain't talking about it today, but that's gonna be out there for a little while. You know, and what has happened. Oh, you trying to shut it down?
Yeah. But you know what? I want to say this though, and I hope somebody within Lizzo, I hope she does what you call it, a cleanup of the people who might be working for her, because the same situation happened with Ellen DeGeneres. If you're not on top of your team and you're just so in the face and you're not doing your business on the back end of it, people are going to take advantage of the fact that, well, you know what, I'm over this, and Lizzo knows about it. Lizzo probably didn't even know too much of what was going on. Now, for Bananagate, I hope she would stop talking about bananas. Okay. Don't say nothing about bananas, Lizzo. Truth behind the truth, because see, that's going to mess up your situation, because we don't want to know about you eating bananas. Okay, at this point in the game, eat bananas out of it. Just leave it. Just leave it alone. Throw it away. Just keep it going, because now we know what it entails with a banana. Okay,
my lord.
And we don't want no video description on how you devour it.
We ain't gonna go no further with bananas. Leave bananas out of this, okay? Bananas had nothing to do with this.
And that's a perfect time to go on our next break.
Right, yes.
All right,
we'll have a banana split.
So when we come back, we're going to be breaking down some of the highlights of our previous shows and continue this laughter going, okay? All right, we'll see you right. Hey, you know what? I'm a married to a white man, but so tell me about the butt. You know,
because we know you've gotten some backlash, Melinda, from your cousins.
Right.
So how you gonna be so pro-black and anti-racism, and you married to a white man? What do you say to your cousins that say that?
Okay, what Harold said. Okay. I'm delicate, Harold. Okay.
I mean, yes. Obviously, I think most, especially Black women, I think more so Black women than anything, if they're married to white men, they get the most black backlash. You know, Black women are strong, we can handle it. But I think the interesting thing is, I don't know why people think who you're with defines who you are. If that's how you're living your life, then that's a you problem. That's not a me problem, because it doesn't matter. I mean, my mom will say I've been boy crazy since I was 4. Like, I've loved that question on every race, everything. It didn't matter. I was like, I just want somebody to love me, right? And it ended up having to be a white guy.
mind when you think about feminine sexual energy? Who wants to go?
I think how you attract someone to you, what you emit, when people notice it.
Beautiful.
Oh, God, Nancy, you don't have to do anything. Come on. You don't even have to say shit. You're gorgeous, man. You're like a sex kitten.
Oh my God!
Oh Lord!
That's my word.
Lord!
Wow!
Yes,
indeed. That was one of our classic moments this season with Dr. Elsbeth, with her concept of Tantra Nova, and so we did a show. Basically, that one was done for women, to talk about their, opportunities to find themselves more sensual, and we did have some characters that were a part of that panel. Okay, typically the young lady that was in the middle of the screen. Okay, we did. It
was a very sensual subject matter,
right?
I think we all need a sensual situation in our lives. I mean, Darnell, do you agree? Sensual situation.
I do.
Before you, we got to talk about the woman in the middle of the screen first, okay?
Yeah.
If you didn't see that show, people, you need to go back and see the Dr. Elsbeth
Just
show.
leave bananas out of it.
Right. Well, the young lady in the middle of the screen gave you a great example of what to do with a banana. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that.
My Lord.
Yes, she did. We're all like, okay.
Leave bananas.
Go ahead, Parnell.
That was quite the moment. It's like, okay, we got to vet some folks. That was hilarious.
She did quite a few things on the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so not even Dr. Elsbeth was going in that direction about it all, but that was hilarious. When that happened. I wish you could have seen that show down there because you'd been all over the place with it all. All right, so go ahead. We can move before next month.
Well, I mean, we're gonna pay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Real quick, we do definitely want to pay homage to the godfather of Black music, Black radio. Okay, that passed away today. I'm saying this week. Apologize for that. And it's great to see somebody in his caliber. I'm sorry for getting his name.
Clarence Avant.
Clarence Avant. I had a brain freeze there. To see somebody that's been recognized throughout the industry as to who he was and what he represented. It didn't matter what group, said great things, but they had great things to say about him and what he had accomplished. So I hope that as we see these other ones that are coming along, that someone rises to that occasion, or the multiple ones that have the opportunity just to get in that position. Do the same thing. You know what I mean? Right. Stop taking advantage of artists and the things that we find that are going on, behind the scenes. I know what you kind of talked about earlier on. Do the right thing. I mean, because you got a lot of brilliant young artists that are out here, that are really hitting the pavement hard.
What you say, Darnell?
They are.
Oh, he said they are. So hitting the pavement very hard to get noticed, to get liked, and and what have you. In the process of do right by these people. Really, that kind of segues into talking about SAG and then the union. Okay, real quick, want to mention that back up again. As well. Union, hey, we're behind you. Actors. Oh my gosh, we salute you. We salute everything because Parnell and I, Dolly, we are part of that craft in that area, and as SAG representation, as Darnell and I talked about, Parnell and I talked about before, I didn't realize there was 100,000 of us, that were out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for the lion's share of those actors, majority of them, they love the craft so much, but most of them are probably not even going to make $30,000 in 1 year. And so with the launch of these revision of these contracts and things like this in alignment with these studios will hopefully give these people an opportunity to make a little bit more money than what they do. So salute to all of them here, as well. So when you have an opportunity, those that are listening, to really support people that are in your network, support these people. Whether it's actors, whether it be singers, whether it be theater performers, and all these things, because these people need to get paid.
And let's just say this: anybody who sees an actor or a singer these days, that's not assumed that they are millionaires, because people are. When you see an actor on television and they're doing their role and their 2 big part, they are not making that much amount of money.
Right.
They are absolutely out there working and making not as much as what they should be making.
Right.
So many people and that's a grave example.
Yeah, and that need to go away.
Of really mediocrity, showing you that they got money, which they don't.
Right.
Because they don't even read half. Some of them don't even read half their contracts.
Right.
And some of them don't even know that their record executives are making money because they have a life insurance policy, especially over the hip hop stars. Now,
they worth more dead than alive.
Hey, say it again, Darnell. Let them hear it again.
They are worth more dead than alive. That's why you see so many artists. As soon as they pass away, you know, they give them the love. But guess what? They going straight to that check. Ching ching. They've cashed in. The royalties and everything.
And as Black people, we need to understand that all flash is not good flash.
Right.
It's not. It's all show, but with no business.
Right.
That is all show with no business.
Right. This is true. That need to be covered up with a lot of business.
Yeah. It's sad, but it's true. We as a culture need to understand that if you're not handling the business aspect, which we talked about with Lizzo,
right,
and with some other people besides Lizzo, Britney Spears, and all these other folks, if you're not handling the business, people will take advantage. And I'm sorry, it happened to people like Mary J. Blige, Jill Scott. These women we thought were like rich entertainers, but they were having troubles financially. So y'all be aware. And for those
Richard Minks.
Oh hell! You know what? I'm done. Let's go on.
That's all they were giving. That's the thing. That's how they do, though. Think about it. When you're an artist or something of that sort of nature, that they do, they make you look good. So that means that that's the next artist that's coming along. They want to get on this label so they can look the same way. They don't know the logistics of everything because half of them don't have the right team behind them. They don't have the lawyers.
Well, making people look good, they sure failed on that ketchup and mustard video. They failed.
That's just a ghetto mess.
That's called no artist development.
Yeah, exactly. That's no development at all. That's no artist anyway. I mean, that's just an embarrassment to me. I mean, at the end of the day.
But since we are on ketchup and mustard, y'all know we had the past week the 50th tribute, anniversary of hip hop.
Yeah.
So I mean, did y'all take part in that?
So y'all know y'all gonna hate me.
Oh, Lord.
Not that, but hate me. Love.
We know.
Let's get Parnell in this first.
Okay, it's all right. You had your downing on hip hop last week.
Yes. Come on, Parnell.
Oh Lord. Oh, that's more.
My Lord.
I just finished watching the documentary, Ladies First, Women in Hip Hop. And it was so interesting, hearing these women talking about, like, hey, sisters have been there from jump in hip hop. They didn't come along and get in it. They were there from the very, very get-go. What's name? Sha Rock was talking about when she was on Saturday Night Live, Debbie Harry had them come on. Was it the Funky 4+1, I think it was. And it was like, so we're seeing that women were already there from the beginning of hip hop up until now, that we've seen more women. At that point, it was a whole thing where it's just like, well, every crew only had like one girl. And so you had all these girls vying against each other to try to get this one spot, to where now we're seeing women in hip hop collaborating and working together. We've seen more and more where it's like, well, the fellas are doing it. Why aren't we doing it? Come on, ladies, let's get this stuff together. And that they're not letting that be the whole thing of there can only be one. There can only be one.
Right.
And it's just been great to see the evolution of hip hop, of where it's gone from those kids who didn't have much, but made whatever they had look like something. It's like, well, let me put together this. Let me do a little something. I'll splash some paint on it. And there was
look like something. Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
there was an explosion of creativity that came out where people were just like, okay, well, let me grab this sweatshirt. I'm gonna paint something over, paint a little design, or paint a logo on it, and became, the street fashion, urban fashion that really came in and revolutionized what young kids look like. All of a sudden, it wasn't just the black and brown kids. Then we had the Asian kids and the white kids were all like, "Oh, I like this look. I like this sound," and it really was discounted because it came from the ghetto, and people are trying to poo-poo it. But now it's like the most popular genre around there. Everybody got hip hop music influence, whether it's the advertisement, whether it's in the movies and TV shows that we watch. It's just there that we see the way hip hop culture has hitting the high fashion runway. You know, they're taking their cues from what the kids in the street are wearing, and now it's not ghetto, but it's haute couture.
So explain to me, please, how did we go from that beautiful explanation that you did about the avant-garde that came out of the community to taping at Areola?
Well, you know, that's just a thing.
I'm being facetious, but I'm being funny. You know, so how do we go from that, you know, the beautiful things of TLC and the wonderful to colors, and then but wearing a piece of tape across the areola, calling that fashion in the hip hop arena? Okay,
free the nipple.
Okay,
go on, Darnell. Go on, Darnell. Go on, Darnell.
Them children. So this is the thing, you know. I think what they're doing is this, because you know, and this is this conversation. When it comes down to hip hop and women are sexualized. So they feel like they have to be out there and be sexy. You have to have on all this. That's how you sell, especially being a woman in hip hop, because it's dominated by men. So they have to use their bodies in order to bring attention to them, even if they can't rap. Oh, she fine, her body bad, this, that, and other, you know. Right. So of course the people are going to listen. So that's why they do it. And now you see artists like Suki, who was talking about all the craziness she do. Now she's like, I've got my attention that I needed. I have people watching me. I have people checking for me. So now I can clean my image up. I can change my image now. And I can make myself be more presentable. You know, Cardi was the same way.
I see your point, but I'm gonna go back to Parnell's point. So you have Queen Latifah, you got Salt and Pepper, you got all these other individuals that did not drop their drawers to get the attention. I'm overextending.
A different era,
but
a different era.
I get it, but then again, I think there's this comfortable transition to of eras, and I think that it just went from where it evolved to, and these behaviors came out of the strip club. Okay, and the majority of your popular artists were former strippers, holes in the club, or whatever you want to call them. You know, at the end of the day, I'm only quoting your own lyrics. All right, so you know, and then it became something else totally different. And that's my downside of it, because I think that women should be respected at all times. That is my position. Okay, and I won't change that. You know, and I think that disrespecting yourself, when you do that, you cannot demand respect on the other side. It don't work. It's an oxymoron.
This was covered in the documentary, because this is something I've always said too, because it was a thing when the male artists were showcasing women in bikinis and they smacking their ass and doing all this good stuff. It was okay. But as soon as the women took charge of their own sexuality, it's like, no, I'm going to be the one that decides if I want to shake my tatas and shake my ass around here. Then all of a sudden, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, you shouldn't be talking about that. And it is the policing of women's sexuality that's the problem. Not so much that the women are expressing their sexuality.
Right.
Because it was fine if they were expressing it underneath the male gaze. But once women come up and goes like, yes, because guys were talking about, oh, I want to do this, and the stuff that men rap about, everybody's kind of like,
oh my gosh, it's horrible.
Talk about it. But when women do it, all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is terrible, and this, oh my goodness, blah 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 blah. How dare she? Like, but you just had his video playing where there was nothing but girls in bikinis and thongs.
Right. Well, I mean, to your absolute point, I know we got to go to break. You absolutely, but see, like, and I'm gonna say the father of instituting this nasty craze that has happened throughout hip hop was Luke. Okay, and I had a cousin that worked for Luke. I mean, the stuff that he did, you know, and had been, and I'm calling him the father of nastiness of hip hop, because he put stuff out there that was just horrible. You know, I mean, down to the point that women were being so abused in concerts that he'd bring them up and they have sex with him on stage. I mean, really, you know, it's like you going to a porn concert, you know, at the end of the day, you know, so I get it. I see your point, but I think that, you know, when you are a woman and you have the ability to draw people in, you know, pull them back into the level of your integrity. You know what I'm saying? That we don't have to do this to get your attention, because we are beautiful. We are made great. You know, there's beauty coming up, even in our lyrics, there's beauty coming out of us, you know? So that's just my point about it. But anyway, I know we got to go quick break. We got more coming up right after this.
Oh. Hey everybody, it's Parnell with The Truth Behind the Truth as we do an episode of Where the Hell is Parnell? Well, I happen to be here with the cast and production team of The Real Black Swan, Confessions of America's First Black Drag Queen. Welcome everybody to the show.
Hey.
Introduce yourselves. I'll start with Les.
Hi, I'm Les Kirkendall Barrett.
He's the writer and creator.
My name is Brittany S. Wheeler. I'm artistic director and cultural consultant.
My name is Tom Trudgeon, and I'm directing The Real Black Swan.
And I'm Nathaniel Mathis. I'm producer.
And I'm producing too. So I get that's why I know people. I do stuff. I get stuff going. Okay, so tell us a little bit about this show. How do you come to the vision of telling this story?
Well, actually, so I wrote this in the height of lockdown when we were all like stuck in our houses making pizzas and bread, and I decided to write something. And so I actually addressed this in the show. What happened is my friend, I'll give her a shout out, Eleanor Kathleen O'Brien, she one day sent me a text and she's like, I think I just found your brand new show. And it was a text with a magazine article about William Dorsey Swan. And so
to highlight and marginalize Black queer voices because we're not done. The work isn't done. We're actively being hurt and harmed. And I feel like Les's piece just speaks to the history of the folks that we need to bring out and the folks that we need to spotlight and honor.
And Tom, as the director?
As the director, I'm really excited about bringing Les's work to life, looking at he's got two main characters that he portrays, both himself and as William Dorsey Swan, and the dual action of avoidance and complacency versus disruption, and Dorsey Swan as the original LGBTQ plus disruptor, the first activist on record. That's why.
All right, beautiful. One of our great segments of From Where in the Hell is Parnell. Parnell, go ahead and elaborate on that real quick about that moment.
Yeah, the show, The Real Black Swan, Confessions of America's First Black Drag Queen. William Dorsey Swan was a formerly enslaved person who was the first person on record to be known as the Queen of Drag. And he used to throw these drag balls and got arrested several times, but was still coming. He's kind of, a lot of people know him as the first queer activist in the country. This is back in like the 19th century, that he was out there in his gowns and throwing bodies. And we're telling his story. It's going to be 8 performances. We have previews coming up on August 31st. And the opening night is September 9th. So it's going to be Friday, Saturdays, Sunday matinee, and the Monday evening performances. Okay. And also you can go to celebrationtheater.org, and theater is spelled T-R-E in this case. And you can find out tickets and information. And I'm just proud to be an associate producer on this to help bring his story out, because we always say that Black history is American history.
Yes.
Well, LGBTQ history is part of Black history as well. So we want to make sure
and part of American history as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great.
Thanks for giving me a moment to bring about the show.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
I want to add this little tidbit, and I love that, Parnell. I'm going to look into that show, but I want to add this to the conversation that we had before he explained that segment. The tribute to the 50th anniversary of the hip hop. I want to give tribute to Sylvia Robinson, the R&B singer that did Pillow Talk, who signed a woman who is the mother of hip hop, who signed the Sugar Hill Gang. Because she doesn't get enough credit. I don't think she gets enough credit, but I also want to say this about hip hop as of today. There was a report, Ebro, who is a journalist and also he does a show on Showtime, I believe, radio. He said now more labels are not signing any more rappers. There's going to be a situation where the record companies are not signing any more rappers. They're now, it's going to be more about other styles of music. But that's very telling to what's going to happen to the genre, because are we on a decline? We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But what I can say about hip hop at this point is that the foundation of hip hop to me has been lost in the sauce. Whatever that's going on in society's woes right now, they're not talking on matters that's going to help the Black community that started the foundation in the first place. I wish and I hope people who like Ice Cube, who are running their mouths and getting on conservative platforms, talking crap, I hope they understand that there are people who are listening to them and understand that they are the pioneers of a genre of music that everybody listens to worldwide, and that their words matter. Their words matter. So if you're going to use your voice, use it for good. Use the foundation for good, but just don't use it for crap like some other artists. Go ahead, Darnell.
Darnell, we got to wrap up. Go ahead, Darnell.
So the biggest reason why the record labels aren't signing is because of a lot of the artists now, they've gotten smart. So they're not signing to the record labels because therefore they're telling them, keep your advance, keep your all this. I'll front my own money for this. I'll do this. I'll stay independent artist so I can have my own royalties. And that way I can make my own money. I can put out myself when I want to put it out. I can do it how I want to do it. So that's why they're not signing. They want to focus on the other one because they don't want to be controlled anymore.
Right.
Okay.
Got it.
Truth behind the truth.
Truth behind the truth.
Truth
Very
behind the
good point.
truth. Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much, man. This has been a night of a seasonal wrap for us, okay? And what we've brought to the table for you guys, we hope that you have enjoyed this season of the third season of The Truth Behind the Truth. It has been fun, exciting. We got some stuff that's coming in season 4. Oh my gosh. You know, we're having new cast members coming in. We're having a lot of great stuff that'll be happening. So look for us back live on September 30th. We come back live on September 30th with a whole new show, whole new look, whole few new people, all of that great stuff. But enjoy the rest of your summer. Enjoy the rest of the time you have with your family. And number one thing, as you know, with us, spread the love.
Yeah.
Okay. Find your authenticity. Okay. Live in it. Let you know that you are always enough. And what is it, Parnell? What the number one cheerleading part?
It's not mine. Comfortable with my life.
It's not at all. It's not comfortable. You know, it's not, you know, we don't have to make you comfortable with our lives. Everything that we talked about tonight, you know, find your place in that. You know, make yourself comfortable with your own life. You're not involved with that.
And come on back, Darnell. We
come
need
on
your
back.
voice.
And don't forget, most of all, tell the people, don't forget, I need you to come on and tell your auntie, cousin, sister, baby mama to like, share, share.
Absolutely. And share, like, and
and most of all, subscribe.
Right, exactly. Subscribe and support. You can support even though we're not live. Okay, the TTBT show and the Truth Behind the Truth on Venmo. All right, y'all have a powerful, blessed time, and we will see you back in the fall on September 30th. Bye bye. Have a beautiful night. Thanks for tuning in.